Good morning, lazy landlords. Sylvia here. Today we're going to talk about the biggest mistake that I see landlords doing on a regular basis. And I pray that the landlords that I've been talking to over the last few weeks are listening to this training. This mistake is costing you thousands and thousands of dollars. Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvia Ho. I'm a financial landlord consultant. I'm also a mortgage agent. I'm also known as the Cash Damming Queen. I teach landlords how to save money by decreasing the interest that they pay the banks, cutting the taxes that they pay the government. Hi, Aisha. Hope all is well. All right. And so if you're tuning in today, please like, love, comment below. It encourages me to make more training videos. And please follow along in my YouTube channel. All right. Number one mistake that I see landlords do on a regular basis, it is this. They are accelerating the payments on their rental property. What do I mean by that? I mean that they are paying biweekly accelerated. They've increased their mortgage payments. They've done lump sum payments on their rental property. Please, my friends, stop doing that. It's actually costing you a lot of money. What is the thinking behind that? Well, a lot of landlords like, oh, okay, you know what? My rental property is my retirement vehicle. I want to pay down the mortgage so that I can have better cash flow. There is a better solution to that. So don't do it that way. So I spoke to one landlord and they're like, yeah, I put $20,000 lump sum payment against my rental property so that I could bring down the mortgage payment so I could have better cash flow. I was just like, oh man, buddy, that's costing you money. Okay. So I'll tell you the solution later on, but I'll tell you why it's costing you money. Your rental property is an investment. And you get rental income from that. And you have to declare that rental income every single year on your tax returns. And that, because you're declaring it, you need to have good write-offs, tax write-offs. And by having lots of good tax write-offs, you'll have lower net income and therefore you will pay lower taxes. If you don't have a lot of write-offs, you will have a higher net income and therefore you will pay taxes. The biggest tax write-off on our rental property is the interest cost on the rental. So if you go do a lump sum payment on your rental property, you're essentially decreasing the interest costs that you're going to claim at the end of the year on your taxes. And therefore, you're going to have a higher net income. And therefore, you're going to end up paying money to the government. So please, my friends, stop doing that. So if you are accelerating the payments on your rental property or you've done lump sum payments, I want you to call your lender right now this second, decelerate it, move to monthly payments, and this is what you're going to tell them. Hey, lender, I have a mortgage with you on this property, ABC, and I would like to drop the monthly payments to the bare minimum. And they'll give you a number, and you're like, oh, no, I want it even lower than that. Is it possible to go even lower than that? You have to kind of dig into them because their system will kind of do something and then your payment will go down, but there are other things that they can do in the background. Just say, it's really, really tough for cash flow. I really needed to get even lower, but you don't want to refinance, meaning you don't want to provide them paperwork and appraisal and all that stuff. You don't want to do any of that stuff because that will cost you money, right? I just want to drop it down. All right. So that's a solution for the rental property. Instead, what you're going to do is if you had an extra 20 grand, you're going to put that money onto your primary home mortgage instead. Okay. Because your primary home mortgage is a debt where you cannot write off the interest costs because we physically live in that property. So here in Canada, we're not allowed to write off the interest costs on our primary residence. So we want to get rid of that ASAP. And so if you have an extra 20 grand of cash lying around, put it towards the mortgage on your primary home and accelerate that payment. Another solution is to apply the strategy. Oh, hey, Steve, how's it going? Another solution is to apply the strategy of rental cash damming. And rental cash damming is all about taking your rental income, paying down your primary home mortgage, and using your line of credit to pay for the rental expenses. It's an advanced financial strategy used by wealthy Canadian landlords to get rid of their primary home mortgage faster than planned. So if you have a mortgage on your primary home and let's just say you're on a 25-year AM and you want to pay it faster than that without having to pick up a second job or dip into your kids' savings or bank account, then come talk to me. Comment me below and then I'll send you a link to book a chat with me. All right, so how do we better our cash flow on our rental property? There are different solutions to do that. The first way is to just call them, like I said earlier. The second way is to actually do a refinance, and you refinance it back to a 30-year amortization. So all of my clients, I always encourage them to refinance their mortgage on the rental property back to a 30-year amortization. And that's how you will get better cash flow. All right. So for all of my rental properties, once they come up for renewal, they're down to 25 years am. Boom, I refinance back to a 30-year amortization. It drops my payment. And because I owe less money on the mortgage, I will get better cash flow. So that's how you get better cash flow on your rental properties. So over like a 20-year span, the mortgage amount will go down, the rental income will go up. You keep resetting to a 30-year amortization, and therefore you'll have a bigger gap in cash flow for your retirement. The other idea, the other thinking behind that is debt does not get taxed, right? So debt on your rental property doesn't get taxed. So the higher that debt, the better it is. And you get better tax write-offs, you pay less money to the government. So it's really, it's the perfect plan in regards to your rental properties. All right. So what are we taking away from this? Please do not accelerate the payments on your rental property. Don't pay biweekly accelerated. Pay monthly and go up to the maximum amortization. I have even some clients that we have to pay a penalty on the rental property. And when you do the math, it just still makes sense. So that's what I have for you today. I pray that the landlords that I've been talking to over the last couple of weeks do tune into this training and hear it. My name is Sylvia Ho. I'm a financial landlord consultant. I'm also a landlord myself, and I'm a mortgage agent for the last 25 years. I help landlords save money through paying lower taxes and paying less interest to the banks. Tune in every week on Wednesday, and if you'd like to follow me on my YouTube channel, just search up Sylvia Ho. Sylvia Ho in my YouTube, and then just subscribe there, and there's more training over there. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks, Steve, for listening, and thanks, Aisha, for listening. Take care. Bye.